You don't need to have hesitation, doubt, direct to ask, okay? And when you to see, and some teachers, when you listen to the Dharma teachings, and you should to pay respect to the Sangha areas, very important. But whatever you have inside doubt and questions, you should to clarify it. That is the very important. And like this, do you have any questions or not? Yes? Not anger, okay?
It's just maybe vocabulary aspect.
Say in French.
Ok, c'est juste un aspect de vocabulaire. On a parlé de l'enfer éphémère et vous avez dit que les insectes pouvaient rester des éons dans une pierre. Et donc pour moi, éphémère, ça veut dire court terme. Et quand j'entends qu'il peut rester des éons dans une pierre, c'est quelque chose qui dure un temps très long. Donc il y a pour moi une contradiction.
L'autre, ça va?
You talked about this frog in the stone, which was in an ephemeral hell, and but you said that at the same time that it would stay there for a very long time. So normally ephemeral, it's a short time. So I think there is a contradiction in this short time, because ephemeral...
Who said it's a short time? Snail eater, it's very short. Ephemeral is a...
So the meaning of ephemeral, he says, is short time.
And this means it's like normally ephemeral, okay? Ephemeral is like maybe it is like short means morning born, in the afternoon died, and also it's like a kind of short to state something like this, and but I think it's not short. It depends. Sometimes very longer. Even the look is the history of the Svitlana. And the Svitlana's mother's, how many years she was reborn in the stone. He came to Tibet, he became shepherd, many, then finally he got this stone, and then he break this stone and inside. And like this, it's also, they are like kind of, that depends, okay? You can't say yes, short nyanse, nyarba. And also here I want to say these paragraphs, and where it was, yes. Maybe it's just to say that 101, the 1 through 3rd paragraphs, we talk about teachers, meditation, meditators, and piety and learning. This kind of, this teachers means is when you are the teacher, you are teaching Dharma, or you are meditator, you are learned, you are like kind of the, how do you say, it's like kind of keeper of the discipline. But in this situation, also you need, like, how do you say, to compassion them. If you be in this position, and still you are concerning the 8 word, like ordinary concern, then it's you teaching Dharma, but not much benefit. You meditating, not much benefit. It's like this, okay? That's what I want to clarify it. And then other questions, or I will continue. Yes, yeah, and...
Oui, Rinpoche, c'est concernant l'histoire de l'implantation du bouddhisme au Tibet, donc c'est à la page 76 du livre, ou 78 plutôt. On parle de la Sangha comme support de l'esprit en français. Et est-ce que vous pourriez, s'il vous plaît, clarifier ce qu'on entend comme par Sangha, support de l'esprit du Bouddha?
Page 78, when the chapter talks about the introduction of Buddhism in Tibet, it is mentioned that so the monks and the 7 men were forming the Sangha to uphold the Buddha's mind. And so what is it meant by Sangha holding the Buddha's mind?
Buddha's mind.
Yes.
And the Buddha's teaching, yes?
Mind. It's written mind. Buddha's mind.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the teaching or the his discipline. It is like doctrines. Okay, this is we call in Tibet Sem Muddam. And that time is of course, normally we have 2 sanghas, lay practitioner we call the Ngakpa, and the monk ordained practitioners is the monk, and these are kind of the fully ordained to be the monk, and a principal, the keeper of the Buddha's teaching. And therefore, I think is the holder of the Buddha's mind, maybe teaching of the Buddhas. Okay, and which one is 70? 70. I mean, it's this is it's Buddha's generally the representative of the Buddhist speech mind, yes? And this is a more, would say it's the Buddha's representative of the heart mind. And then is if you created some Sheda, and maybe contemplating and meditating, analyze, to study, it is more the representative of the Buddha's speech. Okay, and like this. Mm-hmm. And other, yes, one is, yes, Uri? Oh. 3 spheres.
I don't understand what is meant by the 3 spheres.
3 spheres, yes? 3 spheres. 3 spheres is the 3 cycles. That's all. No need to give answer. Sphere means it's like a round and a beautiful air bubble. You can turn like this. And the 3 spheres is the object first, second the subject, and this side, object other side, then is the sphere of the between connectors. And these 3 spheres and these 3 are the enhanced by the empty natures. And then you can say the 3 spheres. And in Tibet it's like a kursum, 3 spheres. I don't know in English why you say like this. To enhance the 3, the things are emptiness, subject, object, connector. And the three are the to visualize the true nature of the emptiness. That is three sphere. Not three supreme methods, but these are three sphere. Yes? Okay. Now as the next one is say, next verse, next paragraphs. And to be the care of the teachers as the spiritual friends. And it's very important to rely on the teachers. It is really, we need to more kind of talking about, sometimes it's like in Europe, different says the Lamaism, say, in Tibetan Buddhism. They maybe is like a kind of the respect very much to the teachers. And one is a hand. It's a totally, because the qualified teacher, good teachers, all the times, they are never kind of the, want to become the, like kind of the corruption, dictatorship, and nothing they don't want. And most qualified teachers, they are homeless. They haven't got any position. They haven't got any like kind of even the sometimes they hated to have the titles. And also it's like they are not rich, and there's no corruptions. And then it's like why we are so much respect. Why yes, sometimes it's like other one is the teachers telling to us the truth. Teacher itself is doing the truth, and then it's like nothing kind of the respect from our perspective, student, and they only to the teach to our the Dharma. And also sometimes some teachers are very strong say, if you practice correct Dharma very well, you change your body, speech, mind into the positives. Then you can to be close, you can to work, you can to like really, you can make pleasant. They like a kind of the really to the families. And sometimes we are against that. And teachings not very much listened. And nothing to change our body, speech, mind, nothing to develop the positive things. Then it's like difficult to reach too close, to be the nearest. And then it's like it's like kind of very much stubborn, and then it's a little bit opposite, like a kind of how do you say, someone's doing all the time negative. Then it's like go to the teachers. It's like they says you doing like this never coming to me, go away. And also therefore. One in the monasteries, one is like some the village, someone's Dharma teachers, Dharma practitioners, they become the hate. They respect, they can to a little bit to judge, they can to control it. We also lack very much. Why? Because if you have the education of the Dharma, surely you develop the compassion, you develop the wisdom. Then we say, maybe you have impartiality, maybe you have wisdom, and therefore you can to be the head of our societies. Then we very much respect. And also it's like teachers telling to the truth, our own benefits. Therefore, otherwise it's teachers like kind of artificially to put there, and also it's like not very kind of the look after the society, student, and not benefit. Then why we are like follow the teachers? Not really necessary. And in this perspective, when we really to follow the spiritual, like really follow the good, the qualifier. Really, I'm saying compassionate. And we all the time receive the benefit. We follow up, we can to make genuine. This is the obvious, nothing else. And we not nothing lose. What we need to lose, nothing. And it's like what they teach us to expect. For example, first Patrul Rinpoche, until he's become the 49 or 50 years, he never ever accepted any kind of the donations. Even it's like funny stories. And when he's like traveling different, if you go to near, oh, Patrul Rinpoche, and you are superiors, could you please to teach me? You choose to make a little bit like honorable or the respect. He's beat you, he run immediately. If you go to there, say, hey, who you are, a little bit kind of rough way, then he say, yeah, I'm. And like this, for example, one day there was one guy. He knows Patrul Rinpoche, he's very much connected, but where he is, they don't know. He's all the time is like hidden, and where he is, where he lives, and nobody knows. Sometimes it's very funny way going. And then it's one day, his father is dying. Then he's thinking, if I can to invite the first Patrul Rinpoche, I would be very happy. And then suddenly he heard, in the Patrul Rinpoche was in his areas. Then he thought, okay, today I think it looks like my father's going to die. I need some methods. And he made his father on the corner, very bad bed, and very ugly closely back to put there. He's going to die. And then he ran to this, where is he searching? He found it, Patrul. And he was one in the families. He's making there some puja, something, but also these families, they don't know this is really Patrul Rinpoche, no. And he arrived, and then he's a little below the yak stand, is making kind of reading something, and he entered this guy, he's looked again, of course he recognized, and he say, without kind of knowing, who you are? I come from Dzogchen. Okay. What are you doing? Kind of puja. Can you do it? I think they are liars. They can't do it. But he said, I can do a little bit. And then he sit there and he's doing these families. And then he say, hey, you are the monk. Do you have compassion? I'm really not sure, but what? I have one slave, one slave, no families. He's going now, die. If you can to pray something, if you know, can you come to praise? Of course, if this situation, yes, I can to praise. And then he took and he brought and he said, you look, this guy, he's going to die and he's a slave. Many years he like kind of to work with me. And if you can you recite some poem or something, you can do it. And then he said, okay, thanks. Then he did very properly, correctly. Behind, in the other side, he made one like wood, like he never wearing Patrul Rinpoche's like how to say, leather things. He made one cloth, nice, and then is of course he has one gold, and this together to secretly to ruling and puppet. And then he sometimes say, hey, guy, monk, quickly finish it. What are you doing there? Then his father died, and then he said, oh, you're good, you have compassion, excellent. I came to help them in this area. There are Tibetan dogs, very dangerous. And then they're coming together, and he asked, you are come from Dzogchen. And a little bit behind, and there is. And then he said, please sit there, sir. He said, why? Sit there, doesn't matter. And then he said, he's prostrating. Why you are prostrating me? He said, I know who you are, and this guy is my father. I'm very, very happy, but now for me it's a great opportunity. Then he was so angry. And why you do me like this? And then he offered this goat, and she said no. And if you say it's like I'm here to tell him to, I don't want to accept any. I'm running away. Why is then he promised, I never tell. Okay, you can do what you. Then he offered this cloth and the gold. And beside there is one beggar guy. He saw this their conversation, and he give gold. And then is son is go back to home, and then Patrul went, and then this poor guy to run a different way and to took, hey monk, give me your golds. Ah, what? This person give to you gold. How you saw? And yeah, I saw. I was in the heading. There is your conversations. Ah, okay. You can go back to where we are meeting times. And there's one is like a kind of a little pipe of the earth. I put it under there. Then you can get it. And he go back and he got it like this immediately, like sometime throw out. Never interested to really is like to have. But that times why he accept, because this guy he promised he not telling to others. Then he accepted, but immediately he put under the earth. That's all. And like this, we really to necessary to follow the teacher. Do not concern me like to find the qualified teacher. I want to say again like this. Okay, now this the page 102, and the checking your own life and the circumstances for the each of the 8 freedom and the 10 advantages. If you find that all these favorable conditions are the presented, you have what is known as human life endowed with the 18 freedom and the 18th freedom and advantages. This is the qualities of the human existence. It is sometimes 2 times we need to check. It's really I have like everything's like this. You know, we can make a joke. This is like examples here. If you want to go one place to others, for example, we can say from Dharma City you go to the Brussels. Brussels want to come into the Dharma City. We can to say you decided I want to go there, and then you're going to buy the cars, and then you go to the car. You need to check how is the wheel, how is the petrol, how is everything is okay? Yeah, everything is okay. Now I need to go to there. Then you go to, you have good condition during the traveling. You can to arrive like where you want. Like we are now traveling between samsara and the nirvanas. And in order to this, the travelings, during the travels, we need good kind of the vehicles and the good the boat or good like kind of carriers. And then it's like based the human existence. And this based like our vehicle, based the carriers. And then is the top of these human bodies, and also in the human beings. There are many parts. We have 2 wheels. And how do you say, it's like 2 kind of the machines and the arms, and it's 2 lights, 2 eyes, like this. All this is like good car. We want to drive from the city of the samsara to the nirvana system. And in order to drive, we need to journey to between these using the human cars, and we need to check. Everything is okay. Wheel is okay, petrol is okay, engine is okay, everything's. Then you drive very safely, you arrive. Like this, in our human bodies also is like in order to practice Dharma, and practice Dharma means we are traveling. It's like the Dharma is like really the highway and the connector of the between samsara city and the nirvana cities. Then we are like traveling through this, and then we check our own vehicle. Is really everything is okay not. Driver ourselves is the mind. And then this body, it is all that there's like 8 freedoms, 10 advantages, all is like together if there is existence, and then we should to be very, very happy. Okay, now I can to really to drive in this moment. And because I have like really 8 freedoms, I'm not like kind of slave others. And also it's like I have good condition, 5 conditions, individual myself, 5 is conditions according to the circumstantials. And therefore I have 18 like the human qualities. Fantastic. Now it is the time to really want to travel into like this. And this is necessary. Okay, maybe we can stop there.